And good morning,
Good
Dabney.
morning. Good
Welcome
morning.
back.
Oh, thank you.
So how's the garden going? I see you brought in some tomatoes.
Tomatoes are doing great. Everything else, I don't know. I tried a new variety of cucumber this year, and it's growing great, blooming like crazy, but I've got about 3 cucumbers. Last year, normally I do burpless, but I tried a Japanese cucumber this year, and it's growing a lot, but it just doesn't set fruit as well. Tomatoes are the thing that's really doing the best for me.
Yeah, I haven't had any problems with my tomato plant either. It's been nice. It got overwatered a few weeks ago, but it's come back, so I'm doing pretty good. But we have a lot of callers on the line.
Good,
we have one in Virginia Beach. Donna, good morning. What's your question for Dabney?
Good morning. I have several questions, if I may. My tomatoes are doing well, except for I have a squirrel that seems to be helping himself to the tomatoes before I can get to them. Anything I can do?
It's tough. There's a hot pepper wax spray you may try. That'll deter a little bit. I haven't had so much problem with squirrels, and I've got a lot in the yard, but the birds are giving me a fit, so I actually had to put a net over to keep the birds so they didn't peck holes into them. So you might try the hot pepper wax spray if you have a way of putting a net and kind of keeping it tied at the bottom so the squirrel can't come under it. Maybe that'll help you down.
It might work, yeah.
Yeah.
She's still in line. Donna, do you still have another question? Maybe not. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, you know, that's the thing. I haven't had a problem with my tomatoes getting attacked this year.
Right. Well, good for you. It's an exception because I'll tell you, the birds give me a fit. 2 things, too, I want to mention. Nice thing about this year, I have yet to have the first tomato crack. You know, some summers, they'll grow, and because we get so much rain, so much heat, they want to grow so quickly that they'll have cracks in them. These have not. The other thing, I was in the grocery store the other day buying some lettuce, and so, you know, keep in mind, folks, I think everybody knows, but maybe not, tomatoes are not something you put in the refrigerator.
Right.
You want to keep those on the counter because you lose the flavor once you get them in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
The other thing I've noticed in the garden, particularly around my basil and some of my lower growing plants, slugs are bad because when we have had these heavy rains, that's weather conducive for slugs. And you can buy a natural bait that they're actually not in the insect category. They'll eat the bait and kill them. Or the other thing you can always do, the home remedy, is take a saucer of beer and bury it in the ground, level with the ground, so when they crawl across, they'll drop into the beer and drown.
Yeah, drown or drink their way out of it. Anyway, we have another question. Paula in Gloucester, good morning. What's your question?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have the most beautiful bushes that grow. They start around in mid-March, and when you first see them, they're so tiny and so low to the ground, it looks like ground cover. Real pretty, bright green. And it has leaves shaped like a poinsettia. And then as they get about close to a foot tall, about 8 to 12 inches tall, it looks like somebody went outside overnight and painted them with a paintbrush, and they look like a poinsettia with a like a reddish, coral reddish stripe down the leaves. And they get about 3.5 foot tall. So I'm just wondering if you'd ever seen them. I have some good pictures of them. So I didn't know if you'd ever seen them, if they're part of the poinsettia family, and they take over the flower bed. They are gorgeous.
I'm not sure. Maybe we can get her to email us a picture. Maybe we can talk about that another week or so, because you know, now I may look and say, oh yeah, but by the description, I'm not sure I know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'm almost kind of thinking something that's similar to a rhubarb type plant, but I know rhubarb doesn't really grow that well around here.
I mean, and Joseph's coat doesn't get that tall. It may be some of the types of coleus that reseed themselves, but without seeing them, it's hard to say. Sorry, I can't help you with that.
Yeah, we'll try and follow up on that one in a future week. But we're out of time for this morning, Dabney. There's more updates on any gardening tips on our website, wavy.com. Just search Dabney in the search field. That's all you have to do, and then you get the results. We'll talk more about that forecast and other check of news after the break.